Hello, my name is Trenton Danielle Grimm. I am a 20-year-old male by typical definition. I am writing an autobiography on my entire life in great depths from start to finish. Here we go. 3 years old, part 1 of 12 for this series. 3 years old is where my very first memories start. This time in my life was very painful to say the least. At this age, I developed PTSD from, physical abuse, emotional abuse from my biological mother's boyfriend she was with at the time. The physical and emotional abuse that I experienced ranged from various things, such as getting my ear ripped off, eating my own puke, getting beat multiple times a day with a curtain rod, getting locked in my room in complete darkness for a day, day and a half a day at a time, soaked in urine and feces to looking through the window during the middle of winter at my parents at the time, arguing over drugs such as, their drug of choice, methamphetamine, and bills, of course. Freezing my ass off, just wanting warmth, to feel warmth, comforted. There's more that happened that, I really don't need to get into to explain this part of my life in summary, but however, I remember, great clarity. We moved around almost every month or two, leaving me with no friends or familiar faces constantly. Around Christmas, I remember going to live with my grandpa and grandma after all of what happened before happened the second time. CPS took me from my mom and her boyfriend and placed me with my grandpa and grandma. During court, my mom never showed up. She said she didn't think it was important enough because of my biological mother's and biological father's daily methamphetamine habit. Well, during the first 1 to 3 months of a pregnancy with me, I already had a chemical issue in my brain, making the trauma that I experienced affect me that much worse than a normal individual. My grandpa and grandma decided to get me psychologically evaluated, and after finding that I had a chemical imbalance, they put me on medications. I lived a violent life, scared life, I guess violent out of fear, if you know what I mean. We will have logic and philosophy and ethics, and we will have complexity in these talks, not just a it's in the Beativerse. It's going to go deep, it's going to tell the truth about interpersonal fucking goddamn struggle. But not so much in terms of, not a victim. I learned from this stuff. But anyway, that's the head of this, so. Anyway, setting things on fire, lived a vibrant life, blowing up, suicidal at age 3 on a daily basis. My grandpa and grandma were new parents. Anyways, this was a okay job I've done at 3 years old in my life. We're going to go all the way up to my current life, in that order. Anyways, this is 3 years old. I released it today early. Tomorrow I'm hoping to release my 5 years old and 6 years old and 7 years old. Anyways, as I go, they will get longer and more complex and deep and more complex. But this is a simple one because I was 3 years old and there's not much I remember. But anyway, goodbye. TG2000 Talks, Part 1.